What's up, Internet? Welcome to another episode of PocketCast. I got my friend here, Reality Pocket. If you watch Pocket over on Twitch, you might have seen his stream before. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, Reality?
My name is Reality Pocket. I stream on Twitch mostly every day at 12 p.m. CST. I am a Magma judge for the Magma tournaments, as well as I play ranked. I've hit Master Boss 2 seasons in a row now, and yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm so close to hitting Master Ball. I just hit Ultra Ball 4, which I know doesn't sound too crazy, but for someone who only plays like 28 hours of ranked every single season, this is the closest I've gotten to Master Ball. Let's go ahead and jump into housekeeping.
Housekeeping? Housekeeping? Housekeeping, you want towel? Housekeeping, you want it for pillow?
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
As always, guys, we're going to be breaking down PocketCast into shorts videos that release every day of the week. And this week is going to be a little bit different because we're actually going to post a guest interview since we got Reality here. The full VODs are going to be going on YouTube and TikTok at the same time Tuesday morning, just before the live stream. And we will be posting a extra long form video to go over the Pokemon Presents. Mainly just talking about Pocket, but also talking about other cool Pokemon stuff, because if you're watching this, you're probably interested in learning more about other Pokemon stuff. But let's jump into the weekly event update.
Received in our news. Just received in our just received in our news. Just received in our This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom.
Time for the weekly event update.
Ranked is going to be ending on the 27th. The Wonder Pick event for Togedemaru and Greedent is going to be wrapping up on the 28th, and the summer events missions are going to be wrapping up on the 30th. But we have the new Eevee Mass Outbreak event that is going to be starting on July 21st and running through July 30th. How are you doing so far in ranked this season, Reality?
I'm doing pretty good. I have like a 57% win rate. I still haven't made I've made top 10k around 7 times, but I'm currently not in it because I think the cap right now is at 2250 or something like insanely high because of the streaking.
Yeah, I know one of my TikTok live stream guys, he was telling me it was 2248 earlier today, so that means it's probably 2300 by now, and I wish.
It's crazy, dude.
The real crazy thing is the guy that's in first place. I want to say that he's at 7200.
I think Seagun is who you're talking about. Seagun is a phenomenal player. I think I've spoken to him like once or twice. He is #1 in Pocket, but he's also top 10 in a lot of other games too. But this guy has like a job and everything, so like he doesn't contribute all his time to Pocket.
See, I feel bad.
Crazy.
Last week I made a joke about how this guy probably doesn't have a job and is just playing Pocket nonstop.
Seagun was running a Sylveon Zard deck list. So like for all those people that are playing Sylveon Zard, that is the #1 player's deck list right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't even think I have that deck made currently. I'm too focused on Giratina, Sylveon EX, and Greninja. Just grinding that out over and over for some reason. Not the only crazy thing that's going to be going on within the next week. Actually, today the Pokemon Presents happened, but we recorded this on Monday, so we don't know what has happened yet this morning. But the new A4 expansion probably has had its trailer released, and we've gotten a little bit of information about it. A4 will be based on Pokemon Gold and Silver, and will be releasing on the 30th. And the next set after that will probably be coming out on the 31st of August, which is crazy to think that we're already getting into the fall months here already.
That's crazy. Like, I don't want to say it's 100% confirmed to be Johto, because like, even with megas and the baby evolutions, like, another prominent region would be not even Kalos, it would be Unova, because Unova carries a lot of those like really good dragons, really good baby evolutions, and like a bunch of stuff like that. Like, recent, like in the actual TCG, I don't know if you follow that, Blaze Bolt and White Flare have come out from the real TCG as well, so they might be mirroring that with a Gen 5. That's my hope, at least.
Gotcha. Yeah. Honestly, I was one of those guys that I played all of the original first gen, and then I played Gold and Silver, and then I disappeared to go to college, and just didn't play Pokemon again until Sword and Shield, and randomly have trickled back to some of the older games. Like, I just finished Brilliant Diamond for the first time last month, and there's
Nice.
another one that I've gone back to, but I can't tell you which generation is which. I'm a
Yeah.
much bigger Star Wars nerd than I am Pokemon.
I think my introduction to Pokemon was Gen 5, so that's why it holds, like, I hold out hope for that. But I did play Gen 5, like, when I was really young, and then the second console, handheld console I got was actually a Game Boy for some reason. So I played all the original stuff too.
Hell yeah. My first personal console I had was a Game Boy Color, because my parents didn't want to pay for anything more expensive than that. But
Dude, they go for like 400 now.
really, jeez.
They go for expensive amount.
And to think that I probably traded it into electronics boutique uh, for like $10 or
Like
something like
$5.
that.
Crazy, bro.
But with this A4 expansion, there was the trailer already released on the Korean YouTube channel 4 days ago, and it was immediately hidden. Now, by this point, all of the other national Pokemon channels have this trailer posted, but now it's hidden.
Yeah, I feel like another good leaker is Magikarp. He's an NA leaker, so he like leaks stuff in a lot in English, but he also does other things besides Pocket content. So if you are like wanting other things besides Pocket content and are like an avid fan of like Pokemon in general, he is the person to go to.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely be checking him out, because I know he's the big guy that released this information today, this morning. And I know I've done a little bit of speculation myself based on what information has come out for previous sets. I believe that we're going to be seeing a minimum of 140 new cards, and what I call 25 reprints. But I don't think they're going to be shinies, but instead like a new alternative to what shinies will be for the A4 expansion.
I think the title you're looking for is illustration rare.
Illustration rares.
It's like the alt.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that's what they have in the official TCG. Most of my information comes from like official TCG stuff, so like that's what I'm assuming you're talking about whenever you're talking about like alt art.
Yes. I'm definitely a color commentator and not a technical commentator when it comes to Pokemon. I make it sound good, but I don't know the exact terminology. If you want to make fun of me, internet, you can call me John Madden. But we're also going to see a potential of 6 to 8 new supporter cards in Shining Revelry. We saw 7, and I believe in the last big expansion, A2, we saw 9 new supporter cards. So it'll be interesting to see if they sort of keep it to a smaller amount, but hopefully they just give us supporter cards that are useful in the long term instead of supporters that support the cards that are being released within that set, like the Cyrus
Yeah.
or the Sabrinas.
Red, Iona.
Exactly.
What do you hope for as the crown for this set? I'm interested to hear your.
I mean, if we're going to be going Johto, I feel like the crown rare has to be either Lugia or Ho-Oh. I mean, I feel like Ho-Oh is definitely the easy go-to. But, I mean, obviously when we get towards A4B, we could see potential, like, Mega Charizard. But that'll be coming when we get down to the Mega Evolution lines eventually down the road. The main thing that I want to see is a card that allows you to draw without being a Pokemon.
I was a card I really want as like a competitive player myself is something to like negate ability. That would be huge. Something to stop Sylveon draw power, something to stop Shiinotic draw power, something to stop like cards like that.
And see, we do have cards like that, but unfortunately, all of them are terrible. Like the Comfy, the status effect prevention, but it can only be psychic types. But then that card is super weak and easy to be taken out by other cards. Or what was the guy that prevented healing, the fighting type that just came out?
I know it's the top looking dude.
Yeah.
Right? The dude like looks like the top.
That.
Yeah, I don't know his name. He's so irrelevant.
It's on the screen somewhere, and it's that guy. Yes. Well, we're going to move on from the weekly event update, and we're going to move on to the tournament highlights here. We're going to be going over 3 tournaments this week. We're going to be talking about the Ursi Day tournament. We're going to be talking about the Frog EX tournament and also the Magma tournament, which Reality knows a little bit more about the Magma tournament since he was actually involved in the tournament. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yes. I'm part of the Magma's production team, so I run behind like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, whether that be OBS or like judging and helping out with that. So I have kind of an idea of how the meta game and stuff like shifted. During the Magma turn, a lot of people ran more of like dual evolutions, so, like stage 2s. Like big one was like Sylveon Greninja. Like that was a lot of the meta game for our tournament. So the first place winner, Nabrix, right? He runs Darkrai Giratina, like being able to get off tags early and stuff like that, and being able to swing in for like the 150, but because of tags, makes it to where a lot of the early game pressure he has over the opponents, because he's guaranteed those cards no matter what. But the opponents aren't guaranteed a Sylveon or a Greninja until later on in the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know I went against only Giratina Darkrai deck earlier today, and that was an absolute terrible experience on the receiving end, if you know what I mean. Since we're already talking about the Magma tournament, Nabrix actually took first place with Giratina Darkrai, and he ran 2 of each, and then supporters he ran 2 profs, 1 PCL, Cyrus, Red, Sabrina, Guzma, Leaf, Mars, 2 balls, Potion, red card, 2 Rocky helmets, and a cape.
He did go 14-1, so pretty good record.
Oh, yeah. And following that up, I'm not sure how to pronounce that guy's name. Is Renato?
He's from Brazil, so
Yeah. I'm about as Caucasian as they get, so pronouncing non-white people's names is very difficult for me. Greninja, Sylveon EX, and Giratina deck with 2 Profs, 2 Cyruses, Irida, a Mars, 2 balls, 2 rare candies, and a cape. Which the Irida is actually pretty interesting. Obviously, you're running water and psychic energy for this deck. I haven't really seen anyone run Irida in this particular archetype.
my opinion is the Irida is actually a tech card for a bunch of cards that are like that have the early pressure, like Dartina, for example. Because if you place the water energy on Giratina, it can negate like two turns of pinging from Darkrai itself, and like with that happening in plus cape, you're able to survive a Darktina ping plus like chaotic impact, and being able to Irida and swinging back into the kill is like one of the more important reasons why you run Irida in this deck list, just for the survivability.
Gotcha. That makes sense. It's a cheaper healing card. I mean, you rotate the Pokemon back that are already damaged, so then you leave at least 1 energy on, so when you do play that Irida, you can potentially heal for 160, which still to this day seems like a completely broken card, but no one really uses Irida anymore these days.
I feel like it's because the water archetype itself is very weak currently, like the current meta, because of like, of course there's Buzzwole or like a bunch of like electric decks like Magnezone, Sylveon, stuff like that are all like roaming around. So like the water archetype is one of the weakest archetypes, and the only energy generator it has is Misty. So I don't think a lot of people want to rely on it.
Any last thoughts you have on the Magma tournament?
Well, this might seem a little biased from me, but be sure to like check out Magma. We are a growing group, and who knows, we will become hopefully the biggest tournament in the whole scene.
I mean,
All I have to say.
I definitely look forward to seeing that happen, because honestly, the commentary from Ursi Day, and I know this is coming from the guy that says every 7th word, is not exactly the best, and sometimes it feels like towards the actual finals that both people are falling asleep, but that's just me. We're gonna move back to the Frog EX tournament, where Ken 458962 took the tournament with what we know as potentially the big deck of the week. Buzzwole Faramosa has somebody else also took the Ursi Day tournament this week that we both know, with a very similar deck. The trainer cards in this one are 2 Profs, 2 Ericas, 2 Cyras, 2 Lucamines, 1 Mars, 2 Balls, Leaf Cape, and Rocky Helmet. Have you been playing around with the Buzzwole archetype recently?
Not recently, but my chat on Twitch and our little community knows me as the Buzzwole guy, because I did during last expansion, I went like with when I started using Buzzwole till the end of the season, I went on a like 75% win rate until Master Ball.
That's insane.
So I have quite a bit of experience on Buzz. Deck list he's running is not tournament standard. Let me double check that. Usually you don't, in this deck list you don't run 2 Eric. You run a second hand disruptor, to be able to like force your opponent onto the back foot, but he's running double air cuts for more health consistency. So yeah, I think that's the only difference that this death list has compared to the standard Buzzwole Caramosa.
And that totally makes sense. With only running a single leaf cape, you really have to keep your Buzzwole running, as it only starts out at 140 health. You take 1 or 2 hits early on, and you're just going to be fighting for your life the rest of the game.
Yep.
But second place was Takami, which was running a Darkrai Giratina deck. 2 profs, a red, Sabrina, Cyrus, Guzma, PCL, Mars, Leaf, 2 balls, red card, potion, 2 Rocky helmets, and a cape. Oh, that's quite a list. Let's see how many different supporters that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's how the 18 trainer decks used to be.
Yeah. I think Takami's deck is like the new standard for Darkina. It used to be a poison variant of it, going around with Nihilego and Poison Barb instead of Rocky Helm. And that was to mainly counter Oricorio, but since Oricorio has been dying down recently because of the Sovali Rampardos decks that are going around, and like the EV box going around, so he's able to run it with no poison. So
yeah, I was about to say, I'm looking at the metagame currently for Frog EX, and it looks like only about 12.2% of decks for the Frog EX tournament used Oricario. So it really is starting to dwindle down compared to what it was just even a couple weeks ago. Because I'd say it was closer to 25%.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, you never know. It's always shifting. I mean, just looking at Ursi Day real quick, Oricario, the Silvally Oricario, which is the first one that pops up in the metagame, isn't even hitting 6%, and the next one down is not even a single percent, which is pretty crazy. Let's move on to the Ursi Day tournament, because we were just talking about Frog EX. And, you know, our boy Lucian, I was so proud when I found out that he won the tournament, that I'm like, oh, look at here, the 2-time of the Ursi Day. And he's like, no, this is my first time. But he was having that adorable Lucian blush that he's like, yeah, I'm so proud of myself right now. Lucian, he ran the Buzzwole Pheromosa deck with 2 profs, 2 Ericas, 2 Cyruses, 2 Lucamines, a Mars, 2 balls, red card, and a leaf cape.
So no Rocky Helm?
No Rocky helmet. Honestly, I have recreated this deck, and I only run a single Mars, and I want to say I replaced red card with comms. Let's see who got second. Connor with a Soul Galeo, Sylveon EX, and Magerna for the trainers. 2 profs, 2 Sabrinas, a Lily, a Guzma, 2 balls, 2 rare candies, and leftovers, which I feel like has become the standard for Soul Galeo decks, to run at least 1 or 2 leftovers to be able to combat that attack damage.
That leftovers is huge. I've been running it in ranked recently, and I have been going crazy.
Yeah. Did you have any additional input on the Ursi Day tournament before we wrap up the tournament highlights?
Not specifically Ursa Day, but towards the end of the season is the best time to play like smaller tournaments to make your name known, because if I know since a lot of the viewers that watch this podcast are more on the casual side or semi-competitive, there is a circuit going around called the BBT, which is the Blaze Battle Tower. and it's a team tournament. So Magma's a part of it, and a bunch of other like organizations that are that are in the Pocket community are a part of this. And it's a very fun side of Pocket where you play in teams. So like you go against one of your opponents, and then if you win 1 point for your team, and if you lose a point for your team. It's a very fun concept, and I like the idea of it. So if you get your name well known in Limitless or even on the rate ladder, you'll be able to join a team. You'll be able to earn money being a part of and I put this in quotes, esports organization for Pocket.
Yeah.
But that's all I have really about Pocket. I signed on to Magma as like producer, but also to talk to like more casual fan base about the team tournament, to be able to bring that more to light, because people only know about like you play in a tournament and you win for yourself. But if you play on a tournament and win for a team, you have like you'll be able to like potentially earn money as like a salary for playing Pocket, which is crazy to think about, but it's possible future.
Yeah. I mean, anything's possible with the internet these days. Plus, there's always people that are interested to watch what people are playing. But
That's crazy.
if you guys there watching on YouTube or TikTok know of any other tournaments that you want us to cover, just let us know in the comments, and we could potentially cover it in the future. But that's going to be it for tournament highlights. Let's get into what the meta? Let's talk about Buzzswole Pheromosa a little bit more, because I feel like Buzzswole Pheromosa is a deck that not only are you very experienced with, but had a huge impact on the tournaments this last weekend.
Of course. I feel like Buzzwole Pheromosa, specifically in matchups like let me actually pull it up, because it's crazy. Like the matchup that they have for these, like it goes so well into are like Garchomp, Sylveon, Dark Tina, because Darkrai is weak to grass. It wins against Zard Sylveon too, because of the fact that you can Moonbaton. You have the ability to hit for 120 plus Moonbaton, so that's 200. Even chipping it down with Pheromosa, with a double Cyrus. Like, you have so much playability with this deck. You are able to like basically tech into most other decks as well. Like, the only times you really lose with this deck are whenever you're like breaking on energy. The opponent isn't killing your main thing that you need to kill, because the mapping for this deck is a 1-1-2 prizing, where you place down your Pheromosa, Kartana first, and then you let those die, and then you place all the energy onto Buzzwole and swinging with it. But with the ability of Cyrus and Greninja, you're able to ping out the Buzzwole and kill the Buzzwole way earlier than you should be able to. But that's the only really time you lose in this deck list, in this deck matchup.
Other than when I play it and I just draw Buzzwole at the beginning and don't draw any other basic Pokemon. But I feel like there's at least 20 other people that are like, hey man, that's me too.
But yeah, I think that's the only time you ever really lose.
That's true. Plus, one thing I've never really run with my Buzzwole decks is both Mars and Red Card. Do you feel like maybe Iona could be a good alternative instead of having Red Card additional to that? Or just sticking with the Mars Red Card standard?
In the current meta with Sylveon and a bunch of draw potential, absolutely not, because of the simple fact that with a red card you are able to bring them down to 3 like guaranteed, and then if they have like I said with the 1-1-2 prize mapping, you can Mars them to 1 card instantly as soon as they take out both your Pheromosa and your Kartana. With the Iono, it's more than likely you're giving them what they want. Especially with like the huge hands, they're able to grab, like if they get Iono, they're able to get the same amount of cards back.
And see, that's always been my terrible luck with Red Card. is whenever I play red card, I give them exactly what they need, which is why I avoid it like the plague. But it's also interesting seeing that some decks are running only a single leaf cape, or some of them are running two and then only running one Erica, while other decks are running just simply PCLs, which I feel like PCL isn't very beneficial for Buzzwole decks, as you could just focus with Erica to get that higher health from one card.
I think for the double cape tech, it's for like, there's really no, it's really just for the two Buzzwoles. For the PCL, it's for against Guzzlord, which has poison, so Agonadel, Nihilego, like Poison Barb. So that's where PCL comes into use. And then for the double Erica, one cape, one Rocky Helm. The Rocky Helm is to deal with like those pesky early damagers, and the one Erica is able to heal that up. I'm pretty sure that's all the variants I could think of off the top of my head.
I was about to say, you just made me feel like a Christmas noob right there, because I went from sort of joking around about that to, you're like, this is the reason for this is the reason for this. But
I think mainly the only reason I'm like very knowledgeable on it is because during the Exponential Crisis, I was one of the earliest Buzzwole players. I want to say I ran Buzzwole really early on in the tournament seeding for like the first week of the Exponential Crisis expansion. So that's why I have that's why I'm like, there's each card has a reason for being teched in.
Gotcha. Well, I definitely feel like I learned something today, even though I've had plenty of iterations of Buzzwole, some of them without Pheromosa for some reason, but I think that's more so that I underestimated the power of that 40 damage split between two different Pokemon, what that can be able to pull off, especially with having two Cyrus in deck. But one thing that has been absolutely driving me insane in the meta is how everyone, their mom, their grandma, their uncle, their third brother-in-law are playing Sylveon EX in every single possible deck. And it almost is feeling like this is the new Giratina without having a beneficial attack.
I feel like my thoughts on Sylveon are quite like different from like the average person, because most of my tournament lists actually don't run Sylveon at all. But I think Sylveon will remain strong in the long run unless they add a card that has, like, for example, if they give Lugia the ability Whirlwind, which negates like abilities or like stuff like that, where it negates effects. That's the only way Sylveon won't be ever like put back into the spot. If like a better, stronger EX comes out that is able to stop.
Now, do you feel like the only way that we're going to see a reduction in Sylveon from getting played in all these decks be just a new expansion, or are we going to have to see a draw trainer card, whether it's an item or supporter card, to change the popularity of Sylveon?
I don't think Sylveon's popularity will ever be changed, especially in psychic decks specifically, like Sylveon, where like Giratina could charge itself, Sylveon could take the energy, and Greninja could tank. Like decks like that run psychic energy will always have a Sylveon EX. But for other decks, such as like Solgaleo, once there's a better drawer to get into Solgaleo, Sylveon will probably be dropped for like better alternatives. Like we could go back to a Skarmory Solgaleo with like a trainer that like you said draws better cards, or like even something potentially more crazy would be like Clef, But like things like that. But I feel like the main weakness of Sylveon and why there's already a slow loss of Sylveon percentage is the fact that it's a two prizer mon. Being a two prizer mon means that it will like give up your breakpoint really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
to where your opponent gets the advantage if they hit Sylveon early and then Cyrus it back in for a kill. That's the only reason that Sylveon wouldn't be as
Yeah,
popular.
yeah. I think there was a deck that we were looking through earlier that had Irida in it, and that might actually be a pretty good card to add into that deck potentially, if you can find the correct card to replace it with.
I think the standard you're taking out a Cyrus or a Pokemon.
Yeah.
If I'm not
The only thing is you can't take Cyrus out in any sort of Greninja deck. If you have Greninja,
Yeah.
you have to run two Cyruses. Otherwise, you're not getting full value off of Greninja's capabilities. But let's move on from what the meta to just talking about you, reality. The
Oh.
the people want to know everything about you, even though some of them might not know much about you. So, sort of to jump straight into it, how long have you been creating content or streaming on different video platforms?
I actually started streaming last year today, because today was my 1 year anniversary.
Oh, happy birthday for Twitch. I,
Yep.
I know Reddit says it's your cake day. I'm sure there's a term for it on Twitch somewhere. Outside of Pokemon Pocket, because I know it's our favorite game right now. What is your favorite game of all time, though?
My favorite game of all time, that's not in the Pokemon genre in general, is called Digimon Cyber.
Oh man, you know, I had a feeling that you might be a Digimon guy, but I didn't think you'd say it would be your favorite game of all time. Was it a PS2 game?
It was a PS2, and then it was recently put into the Switch about 4 or 5 years ago. And this year, I think August, they're releasing a new game after 10 years.
Wow.
So I'm quite excited.
Now, is that also a digital card game?
Digimon Cyber Sleuth is an
RPG. Gotcha.
RPG.
Yeah, I watched the anime back in the day, but I never dived too deep into the Digimon world. I just assumed that it was sort of like Pokemon in the sense where they're trying to make it a little edgier.
Personally, Digimon is not like the base level looks extremely like Pokemon, but the main difference is you can find like how one of my favorite content creators has said it. You can find Pokemon in the real Pokemon inspirations in the real world, but Digimon you can't, because there's things that are androids and things like that are like digital data. Like one of my favorite groups in Digimon is called the Olympos 12, which are based off of the Greek god.
But since you sort of tiptoed around what the next question will be, what's your favorite Pokemon game of all time? And you sort of have to go into details of what your favorite Pokemon from that game is as well, because I feel like that'll be interesting.
My favorite game is the game that started it all for me, being Pokemon Black. And my favorite Pokemon from that generation would be Hydreigon. Reason being, like, I got into the whole Pokemon around early 2011, and that was towards the end of Black to moving towards the 3D generation, which would be X and Y. But I didn't play those until like 2018. But and Hydreigon was my favorite because of the way that it's designed like with 3 heads, and it has one of my favorite typings being dark, but it has my second favorite typing being dragon.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know one of your favorite Pokemon as well is Umbreon. How do you feel about the potential of us seeing an Umbreon EX sometime within the next few sets?
Oh, you're gonna see me make so much content out of it.
Oh, I bet, man. I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm like so like talking about like Pokemon in general. I think I was talking about this on my stream that I'm going to be doing a Pokemon run. So I think every week, like one day of the week, I haven't decided yet. I will be trying to complete a whole game, a whole playthrough, like until I complete every single generation. So that going from like, of course, I wouldn't play the Game Boy version. I would play like the remake version, of course, except like Brilliant Diamond, Pearl, Big Platinum, stuff like
Well, you sort of started tiptoeing into the next thing, which I want you to plug your social media and all the stuff that you have out there. That way, people can be able to follow you, and that way we can share all your stuff, and we can create a bigger Pokemon community where everybody likes to follow each other. You know?
that. Yeah. You can find me on most, if not all, social media platforms at Reality Pocket. I know that my Twitter or my slash X account is reality underscore pocket, but like most of my things are literally under the same.
You just recently joined TikTok, uh, and there's always plenty of people that are willing to jump in. I know Monarch is about to become your best friend. He will like and comment on every single one of your videos after this appearance, and uh, I'm not sorry. But with that, do you have any last comments before we start to outro the show?
Um, I feel like make sure you guys enjoy all of the future PokeCast that this guy does, and if I ever am a host again, I'll give you guys an update.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I'll have to have you back at some point. The goal is to eventually go through the circle of everybody that I know come on the show, but the trick is getting people to have their times lined up. You know.
Yeah, it's 100%.
As always, guys, just to remind you, we will be breaking down all of the segments of the show into shorts. That way, you guys can be able to watch shorter segments. Or if you're watching for the first time, you might have discovered Pocket Cast because of a short. So make sure to follow not only me, but also follow Reality. Uh, that way, we can support our fellow Pokemon Pocket creators. But as always, guys, that's it. That's all. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet.